Hey everyone, it is Jess from the Kidney RD. I am super happy to be here. Day number 2 this week. We're talking about very low protein diets. I'm a board certified renal nutrition specialist, and I have a practice called the Kidney RD where we help people preserve their kidney function with nutrition and make sure they have good nutrition. So today I want to go ahead and dive in. We are going to talk about some common myths around a low protein diet. Some things that get confused, some things that are tripping people up when they're trying to apply this approach. So I have 3 big myths that we want to talk about. But first, I want to clarify again 2 terms. One is the low protein diet. One is a very low protein diet. That is literally when you read scientific papers, that's what they say. They have low protein diet or very low protein diet, which I appreciate the simplicity of that. Low protein diet is around 0.6 to 0.8-ish grams per kilogram of a healthy body weight, and a very low protein diet is around 0.3 to 0.4 grams per kilogram of a healthy body weight. So very, very low. These are like 20 to 30, maybe 40 grams of protein a day. So the first question or the first thing that gets confused a lot is, as long as it's low protein, it doesn't matter what type of protein. Now, this is a big piece, and even when you read the scientific literature, I feel like it gets mixed up. So protein has actually 2 pieces when we're looking at the kidneys. So one is the quantity of protein. That's where we have these amounts that we're kind of aiming for. And then there's the type of protein. Protein is built of amino acids. So I have little children, and so Legos are definitely part of my life. I hate stepping on them. They really hurt. But I think of proteins like a little Lego building that you put all together. Those individual Lego pieces are amino acids. Amino acids are used in our bodies for an enormous amount of functions, from making hormones to building muscle to, making blood cells. I mean, there's a lot of things amino acids are used for. They're very, very important. So it does matter. Animal proteins have what is called a complete amino acid profile. They have all the amino acids in them. Plant proteins do not have all of them, but if you combine different plant proteins, you still get a full amino acid profile. The benefit of a plant-focused diet for kidney disease is that plants, as they are broken down, is one, they are not as acidic, they're more alkaline, which is a huge piece of keeping your kidneys healthy. They help nourish your guts, and one of the byproducts of this breakdown of certain amino acids is something called uremic toxins. Uremic toxins, per their name, toxins, are usually filtered out through our kidneys. Our kidneys are filtration, and if we can reduce the number of those, then we are able to preserve kidney function much, much better. So that's another benefit. Plant proteins do not have that same impact on uremic toxins. So it absolutely matters not just how much you have, but what type you have. And we focus on a plant-based diet for kidney disease. The other thing is that it's really, 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 really hard, really hard. And I can say this because I have participated in many meal planning sessions. It's very, very hard to get that lower protein amount, especially a very low protein diet, if you are consuming animal products. It's really, really hard to get to that level. So using a plant-focused diet is much, much better approach if you're doing a very low protein diet, that like 20 to 30 grams a day. So myth number 1, it matters not only how much, but what type you eat. Number 2, here's the other myth. As long as I'm vegan, I'm fine, right? So there's this terminology that kind of gets thrown around a little bit. We have vegan and we have a plant-based diet. So vegan generally can have a negative connotation for many people, but vegan mostly just means you take out animal products. You can have a very unhealthy vegan diet, like French fries are vegan. Crackers and potato chips are vegan. Those are not animal products. You can have a very unhealthy vegan diet that is just starchy, breads and potatoes and fried foods, and that would not be good for your kidneys either. I'm not opposed to those on occasion, but it's That's not what we mean by a plant-based diet. A plant-based diet to me, and the reason we use that terminology is it means that it includes a variety and a lot of different types of fruits and vegetables, and that we find healthy, nutritious replacements for those meats. So a lot of our clients, they come in and they really miss the chewy texture of meat. They don't mind actually cutting it out. People kind of lose their taste for it over time. But what they do mind is not having that chewy texture with their meals. So we work with foods like mushrooms are really chewy, eggplant, jackfruit has been a lifesaver for one of my clients. She loves to make a jackfruit chicken salad, pulled jackfruit. And knowing how to do that within the parameters that you need is fantastic. So some of those can be high potassium. If you have a potassium restriction, you want to work with your dietitian to know how much you can include in your diet, because there's always room for those foods, even with a potassium restriction. So as long as you're vegan, are you fine? No. As long as you are including a lot of fruits and vegetables and a good variety, then you are going to be on a better pathway. So myth number 2. Myth number 3, and I have my notes over here, so that's why I keep looking over to my other screen. Myth number 3, getting my protein as low as possible is going to save my kidneys. There is this game that people play sometimes called How Low Can I Go? They do it with sodium, they do it with protein, they do it with potassium, they do it with phosphorus, and the thought is if I can get all of these really, really low because they're bad for my kidneys, then my kidneys will not have any problems. This is not correct. And the reason why is because our bodies are meant for balance. So it's not about how low you can go, even for sodium. It is about getting the right amount and knowing how to make that work into a lifestyle that you can enjoy still. How does that look on a daily basis? Focusing on what you can have. So a very low protein diet is pretty low. It's really, really low. It can be very stringent for some people. You must, if you are doing that really low, very low protein diet, you must supplement with a keto analog. You must supplement with a keto analog. A keto analog is an amino acid supplement, a special type of amino acid supplement that we use with this dietary approach. It was originally brought forth, and actually I have the book here. I've got like so many kidney books. I read every kidney book I can find and take what's good or bad from it. But this book, right, Coping with Kidney Disease, old book by Dr. Mackenzie Walser. He was one of the original people that brought out this idea, this very low protein diet with keto analogs in the 70s or 80s or so. Kind of went in and out within the nephrology community, the whole story behind that. But getting your protein as low as possible or no protein is not healthy. You need to still have the right amount of protein. Amino acids are really essential building blocks in our bodies. If you're doing a very low protein diet, you really, really, I highly recommend you have at least one session with a dietitian. Figure out how much protein you should be having, what that actually looks like when it comes to a daily intake of food, right? We don't eat protein, we eat food, but protein is in food. And then how much keto analogs should you have and which one should you take? There's a couple out there. So those are a couple myths I want to clarify. To sum it up, as long as it's low protein, it doesn't matter what type. No, not true. As long as I'm vegan, I'm fine. Not true. More plants. And getting my protein as low as possible is all I have to do. Also not true. It's not about how low you can go. It's about how you can balance it and make it work for you long term. Anyways, that is all for now and for today. Thank you for joining us. We're here Monday through Thursday. You can follow us on Instagram at the Kidney RD, or here on Facebook at the Kidney RD, and then on YouTube as well. We are starting to publish these on YouTube so you guys can share them more easily with friends or with people in groups that need help. We thank those people that drop in comments and that have questions and that are supporting us as we try and clarify a lot of these myths in the kidney community. This is a work that we love. We know it's important, and we know that every single person should have the opportunity of leveraging diet to preserve their kidney function. All right, that's it for now. Bye-bye.